So Barron Trump has apparently, according to reports at least, been getting dating advice from an indicted sex trafficker of underage children. What I told people is that what is out there in the public is this very simple truth. Trump started his exploration into his sexual obsession with underage children. Started with Epstein. Ran with Epstein for more than a decade. Late 80s, early 90s, into the early 2000s. After Epstein came Tony Lazzaro, the Minnesota Epstein, who is in prison right now for 20 years for sex trafficking of children, and that he was one of Trump's personal advisors in the 2020 election. So you kind of have this big problem with Trump and his internal moral relationship with being sexually attracted and being and enjoying sex with underage children, with teenage girls. His internal excuses for being attracted to girls, say, age 12 or 13 and older, is the excuse is reflected by women like Megyn Kelly and others saying that that's not really pedophilia, is it? Because pedophilia is children, under 10. That's pedophilia. Older than that is not pedophilia. Let's just be clear. They are both pedophilia. Pedophilia is an umbrella term used for any sexual obsession with children that are under the age of consent. Now, there are branches of pedophilia, parts of pedophilia, psychological definitions for people who are, attracted to groups that are in the single-digit years of life, and those who are 12 to 15 and then 15 and older. And so they repeat these excuses. The excuses for having sexual interactions with people provided by Epstein and Tony Lazzaro and Andrew Tate. And now Trump's son is getting advice from a convicted sex trafficker of underage girls. Let me just be clear. Probably the reason why his son believes that that's okay is because his son sees it. Sees the exact same thing I see when I just look back at his history. Tony Lazzaro, Epstein, Andrew Tate. Why not? He probably knows more of the stories that his family has regarding Epstein. The one-stop parties. The questions that still kind of linger, particularly around the one-stop parties. And that is that Trump put on. And those questions are is that where his children got laid? Did, during Trump's obsession with Epstein, his children were also children. They were teenagers. Did they participate? Because obviously there would be opportunities to participate. Ways of getting behind their father's back and having sex with these underage girls while they were underage, which would not be a crime because they're both underage. So, but it would be if it was like prostitution, I don't know, maybe things like that. But you don't know how Trump's relationship with Epstein and Tony Lazzaro and now Andrew Tate, how that impacted his children. You don't know, nor do I. But now that there are reports that Trump's son is getting advice from a convicted sex trafficker. This is why Trump needs to be removed. And why this investigation needs to go into effect. Because to be honest, our society has been ignoring this regarding Trump since the 90s. Trump literally would be on television telling people of his sexual attraction to his own daughter. We need to change. We need to face up with what happened and what we did to enable it, and then do something about it. We must remove Trump first, and then come to a conclusion within ourselves that sexual addiction to sex with children is a massive problem, and a lot of times we look the other way, and we need to stop doing that. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe.